Hi, it's Tamara here with another card making tutorial using a fun image, Abby's mother from Wondering Wabbit. I've also used one of the sentiments from the set as well. I'll be doing some Copic colouring and then some card making. So let's get started with some colouring. I've grabbed out my Misti and I'll be using the burst background from Whimsey Stamps to create a background panel for my card. I just need to take out the rubber insert, and I've just got a little bit of glue on the base of my Misti to hold my paper in place. So I'll just pull off the backing to the background burst stamp and just line that up in the middle of my white cardstock. I've grabbed my VersaFine Black Onyx ink and I'll be using that to stamp up the stamp. So give it a good coat over the top, making sure you get on all the ends, and give that a good press down to get as much of that ink on there as possible. I'll give it another stamp. And you'll just notice there's a couple of bursts just on the ends that I just need to get a bit of ink on. We'll give that another press. There, I missed that end. So give that another press down. And we'll just give it one more coat to make sure we've got a nice dark impression. Close the lid and give it one more press, and that should get us the impression that we're wanting. Perfect. So now that background panel is dry, I'm just going to cut it down to size to be the exact dimensions of the burst background. So we'll trim off all the white edges. So I've grabbed my tonic trimmer, and I find this works really good because it's very easy to line up with the edge of the trimmer to make sure you get that perfect cut. And if you do miscut like I am shortly, it's really good because you can actually cut very thin line to make sure you get that perfect cut. So we'll just line up the final edge and just make sure that's over enough and just give that a chop. I'm also going to be using the word and shadow die set from Whimsey Stamps. So I'm going to be doing some ink blending for the letters, and then I'll just do some black cardstock for the shadow die. So I just want to work up from the dark to light. So I'll start at the bottom of my cardstock and just kind of fade out as we get higher. Just measure to make sure you're getting enough room for your letters to sit on there, and just work slowly with that blending brush, just blending up. As I always do, I like to tap off some excess ink onto my glass mat and then just use that, because that will allow a small amount of ink so that you can blend that up. And we'll just check that lines up. Perfect. So we'll just get this taped up now that it's dry, and we'll take that to the die cutting machine, as well as the shadow die from the black. And I've also pre-printed out the I Can't Adult Today sentiment from the set, the Abbi's Mother set, and I'm going to die cut that out of a conversation bubble. So I've grabbed my Sizzix die cutting machine and we'll cut the sentiment out first. So we'll set that aside. Now we've got our perfect word bubble. So that will go on one side, and now we'll just cut out the shadow die and the letter die from the word and shadow die set from Whimsey. So I'll just line that up, put my top panel on, and we'll pop that through. Sorry for the shaking of the table. So we'll pop out the shadow die first. It pops out really easily. Set that aside. And then we'll just slowly pull out the letters from the top die. Some have actually stuck to the base of my Sizzix. So we'll just make sure, and don't forget the dot for your exclamation. And then one bit is still stuck in the die, so we'll just pull out the H and we're ready to go. I've grabbed my reverse tweezers so that we can put our glue and letters onto our shadow die. So we'll just put a little bit of glue on the U and get that in place. Just get that a press down and a wiggle into place. Now I want the G to be sitting above, so we'll put the H on next, and that way the G can sit over both the U and the H. So you could do it the other way as well, put the G down first and then put the U and the H over the top. But I'm just going to do it this way today. So that's all glued down. Make sure that's in place. And we'll finally put on the G. Put a little bit of glue on, you don't want too much mushing out. I'll just turn that around so I get a better position to place my G. So the shadow die really helps because it makes it a lot easier for you to line everything up. Now we'll just pop on the exclamation. So this part I like to put the glue on, but with the dot I'll actually just put the glue directly onto the shadow die. I feel it's easier, and then we can just pop that dot directly on there and just secure that in place, just unless I can get it off my finger. I've pre-cut a white card base measuring 23.5 by 15 centimeters, scored at 11 3/4. I'll just burnish the edge with my Teflon bone folder. So that will leave a nice white border around our burst background. So we'll just line that up, and we'll just get a bit of glue on the back of that background. So I've popped that glue on, and we'll just secure that in place, just making sure it's all lined up, and give it a press down to secure that. Now I'm going to place Abby's mum on the front, but I want her to be propped up, so I'm going to put some 3D foam on the back of her, just placed in different areas about her body to ensure that all her parts are fully secure. So we'll just add that in various sections. Should have sped this up so that you're not having to watch me slowly put these on. I'll have to invest in some pre-cut ones. Might be a bit quicker. So we'll pop one right in the middle of her head. And then we'll just get some on her arms and her feet. Just trim this down. Pop that there. It might be a little bit big, so we'll just trim this one and we'll put that on her feet. Just make sure that's lined up so you don't see it from the other side. Secure that down, and we'll just trim this one down and use that for both her hands. Just needs a little bit of support, so it doesn't need to be too big. And pop that down. I've already taken off all the release paper, so we'll just line Abby's mum up on the front of the card. I just want her lower down to the starburst because we'll want to put those 2 sentiments up above her. So we'll just give her a press down now that she's in the right spot. And I've already put some foam tape on the back of the and also the sub-sentiment. Now, because Abby is got some foam tape on her, I've actually doubled up the foam tape on these 2 sentiments because I want them sitting above her head. So yeah, I've got double on both sides. Now this is the finished card project for this tutorial. Abby's mum was so fun to colour, and she actually colours up very quickly. I loved colouring her hair, and also that robe was so fun to colour. I thought she looks perfect, yelling at the top of her lungs with this burst background in the background. I hope you've enjoyed this card tutorial. If you have, please leave a message and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see any future videos, please ensure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.